And I guess for the most part of my life, I was. I was never in my right mind until I found Jesus. There's no stronger love than the kind of love that accepts you for who you are. And that's the kind of love that Jesus had for me. When we first met, I was a mess. I was, as I had been since my earliest days, mad as a wet hen. Everywhere I went, I was the center of attention, because no one could ignore the foul-mouthed feelings that lived inside of me. He was teaching and healing the sick near the Sea of Galilee. And I was there because in those days I was everywhere. They tried to ignore me, but I wouldn't let them. If I could have no peace, then they could have no peace. If I was under constant torment, then I would constantly torment them. Don't ask me why, that's just how I was. Jesus didn't ignore me. Even in my state of constant screaming and incoherent babbling, I could understand that here was a man who loved me just the way I was. Here was a man who reached down into my torment and lifted me out. Who had ever done that for me? Everyone always expected me to reach up to them. Oh, what a miserable cold morning that was. So awful. I don't think any of us had slept the night before. After I went with Joseph and Nicodemus and placed him in the tomb, I just couldn't shake the feeling that we hadn't done enough. We hadn't done enough. After all he had done for us, we hadn't done enough for him. Even when we used all the spices that Nicodemus had supplied, the extravagant burial supplies, it just wasn't enough. No, I wasn't one to frequent cemeteries anymore. After the sleepless night before, I was blurry-eyed. I was blurry-eyed and confused, disoriented. It was like walking in a dark city through strange streets and imagining that the lights were like familiar landmarks. But there was something different about that day. Something different about that moment, the tomb. It was so different. Odd. I had just been there a short while before. Well, what happened next was like a blur. The empty tomb, the angel. I ran to get the disciples, then returned to me being left there alone, and then this cloak of confusion that I just couldn't shake. What was going on? What was happening here? I thought he was the gardener. Doesn't every garden have a gardener? Someone to tend the place and tidy it up and keep the riffraff away. I just wanted to go home. I just wanted to go home and sleep off the fact that my master was now gone forever. But he persisted. Whom are you seeking? He said. And still I didn't recognize his voice. I turned to walk away, and then he spoke. And it was as if a cloud of confusion suddenly lifted away, and in one instant, I knew. Jesus had always said my name in a warm and gentle way. So warm, It was like the water gently tumbling over rounded petals. It was like the birds on the dawn, their songs in the morning. My name. In an instant, I knew it was him. All doubt, fear and confusion, they all left me. I knew it was him. He had said my name. You see, Jesus was more than just my master, and he was alive. He was alive. It was more than just my master. He was my friend. He was my friend. He loved me, and he knew my name. And in that moment, when I heard him speak those words, my name, I was reminded of the great love that he had for me and for all of us, all of those who knew his name. The kitchen doors were barred and all the windows fastened down. Spent the night in sleeplessness and rose at every sound. Half in hope and sorrow, in half in fear the day would find the soldiers breaking through to drag us all away. But just before the sunrise, they heard something at the wall. The gate began to rattle, and my voice began to call. Peter hurried to the window, and he looked down into the street, expecting swords and torches and the sound of soldiers' feet. But there was no one there but me, so he came down and let me in. John stood there beside me as I told them where I'd been. I said they had moved him in the night, and none of us knows where. Stone's been rolled away, but his body isn't there. We all ran toward the garden, and then John ran up ahead. They found the stone and the empty tomb, the way that I had said. And the winding sheet they found it in was just an empty shell. For how and where they'd taken him was more than I could tell. But only something strange happened there, what we did not know. John believed in miracles, but Peter turned to go. Circumstance and speculation couldn't lift it very high, as we'd seen them crucify him, and we all saw him die. Back inside the house again, the guilt and anguish came. All that Peter promised him just added to his shame. When at last it came to choices, he denied he knew his name. And even if he was alive, it just wouldn't be the same. But suddenly the air was filled with strange and sweet perfume. Light that came from everywhere drove shadows from the room. And Jesus stood before us with his arms open wide. And Peter fell down on his knees and clung to him and cried. Then he raised him to his feet and he looked into his eyes. Love was shining out from him like sunlight from the sky. Guilt and our confusion disappeared in sweet release, and every fear we'd ever had just melted into peace.